grade 2, chapter 14. Yeah, we're at chapter 14 now, which is nice, I guess. So we're gonna work on subtraction today. You know, last time we worked on addition for hundreds. This time we're gonna do subtraction. So let's start with the basics. Well, we can use subtraction facts, or we could just use models. But honestly, I don't like using models because chances are teachers aren't going to give you models on a test. So, as you can see on this diagram, we have 600 and we crossed out 300s. And that leaves another 300s. So yeah, that's about it. But honestly, it's hundreds. There's nothing after it. And we know that 6 minus 3, or at least we should know by now, is, well, 3. So it's like 600 minus 300, or just 6 minus 3 equals to 3, and then you plop the zeros there. Unless you want to use vertical form, which means that you just do this. Woo! 0 minus 0 equals to 0. 0 minus 0 again equals to 0 again. And 6 minus 3 equals to 3. It's really not that, well, complicated. So let's do some practice problems. And we're not going to use models, because using models is, well, tedious, which is another word for tiring and annoying. So 400 minus 100 equals to how many hundreds? Well, what's 4 minus 1? 3. So it equals to 300. Fine, I'll do a model. Remember, guys, you don't actually need to, draw the little grids, because most of the times the teachers know what you're talking about. Unless your teacher's not nice, and they decide, you know what, you have to draw all the grids, or else I'm not going to give you all your full marks. That's a warning to stay away from that teacher, because no, just no. No. Yeah. So let's do some vertical form right here. 400, and then we stack the 100 on the bottom. And put the minus sign. 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0, 4 minus 1 equals to 3. Yay! Was that hard? Please say no. 700s minus 300s. It's as if these are just repeated. So what's 7 minus 3? 4. Mind equals to blown. And if you really want a model, then it's just 7, and then you cross out 3. That's like basic subtraction that we did back in grade 1, or even before that. 700 minus 300, and we're just gonna do the vertical form now. 700. Oh, those are some squished to zeros. Minus 300. 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0. We all know that's just, well, zeros. And then 7 minus 3, 4. Equals to 400. 400 equals to 400, and that looks like a 6. Side note, guys, don't write your zeros like this, because that's a 6, and the teachers will stare at it and think, is this child just joking with me, or do they not get the problem, or do they just have horrible handwriting? None of those options are good. 800s minus 500s equals to how many hundreds? Well, 8 minus 5 equals to 3, so that equals to 300s. And 800 minus 500 equals to 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0, 8 minus 5, 3. 300. Okay, why do we keep getting 300s? That's kind of weird, but okay. So this is just vertical form. But honestly, if you read it out, it's like it's written down. 300 minus 100. 3 minus 1 equals to 2. And we know that the zeros are just there. But, by the way, that's appropriate when you don't have anything trailing behind it, i.e. more to the right. But usually we calculate from right to left. By that I mean 0 minus 0 equals to 0, 0 minus equals to 0, and 7 minus 1 equals to 6. Therefore, 700 minus 100 equals to 600. And now we have 400 minus 100. 4 minus 1 equals to, well, 3. But we're just going to do it in proper vertical form. 0 minus 0 equals to 0. 0 minus 0 equals to 0. And then 4 minus 1 equals to 3. Now, just a reminder, you can take a break anytime you want. Literally, anytime you want. It doesn't even have to be between sections. You can take a break anytime you want, do some practice problems, absorb the information, soak it up like a sponge, I'll stop. Eat some cookies, write a report. Wait, no, you guys don't do that yet. You're in grade 2. Drink some water, eat lunch, eat dinner, eat breakfast. Okay, so sincerely hope that you ate breakfast before this. And yada, 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 yada. But if you want to continue, then go on. Since we've got the basics down, we're going to move on to something harder, such as regrouping tens. Now you may think we already did this in addition. Yeah, but that's addition. Subtraction's different, for the lack of better words. So over here, we see 100 and 100, so that's just no. But at the ones, since we start from the right, we see 3 minus 5. Now we know that 5 is bigger than 3. So we're thinking, how can you do 3 minus 5? Well, you see there's 6 tens? You borrow one of them. Borrow. As in, you take one of the tens and then split it into 10 ones. Which means that instead of 3 minus 5, you're technically thinking it's 13 minus 5. And 13 minus 5 equals to 8. Now usually when we regroup, some people like to regroup it writing it in the ones column. Most people write it in the tens column. And some people will write it slanted to show that it's being regrouped. But honestly, if you write it not slanted, it's the same. Well, actually, no. Ask your teacher for that. Some teachers are really picky on what notation or notation as in how you write it, they use. There, you learned a new word today. And since we borrowed a 10 from the 6 tens, well, what's 6 minus 1? 5. 5 minus 3 equals to 2 tens, and then 1 minus 1 equals to just, well, 0 hundreds. And now we get 163 minus 135 equals to 28. Now remember what I said about borrowing the 10? Yeah, you're technically just taking it. Oh yeah, that reminds me of this one time. One of my friends back in middle school, somebody, well, she had a donut and she didn't want to eat it because she was full and she didn't have room for dessert. I know, she didn't have room for dessert. Wow. So another kid went up to her and asked her if he could borrow the donut. And she just stared at him and told him that he could take it and never give it back. Yeah, that's basically what you're doing over here. You take one and then you don't really give it back. So yeah, let's do another modeling question, i.e. example. Oh yeah, remember to regroup 110 as 10 ones. You'd be surprised at what some people accidentally do. Sometimes they might regroup it as like 1 and just go like, but what if adding 1 doesn't work? It's adding 10, not adding 1. Now over here we have 7 ones minus 8 ones. That's not going to work. Then we borrow. And this makes 10. I'm not going to draw 10 squares because that's just, well, tedious. So now this is 17. And we put a 1 over here to signify that we took out 1. Okay, some people might like to cross it out and then write 2 up here, but honestly, most people don't. So yeah, we move on. What's 17 minus 8? 9. What's 2 minus 1? 1. What's 4 minus 2? 2. Therefore is a synonym for so or, and then we realize 437 minus 218 is 219. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. They basically just subtracted half of the number, but okay. So as I said, we're not going to be using models because models take a long time and you're not going to get them on a test. And if you take too long on a test, you're not going to get any chance to check your work. And if you don't check your work, you're going to make stupid mistakes, such as, okay, one person made a very stupid mistake. They put 4 plus 4 equals to 7 on their test, got wrong on the answer because they didn't, check it over clearly enough or, well enough. And they were very embarrassed through the whole day. Let's just leave it there. Now, okay then. Strange. 321 minus 13. I was expecting something with 3 digits, like question number 3, but oh well. 1 minus 3 obviously doesn't work. So we're going to borrow. And after we borrow, it's, what's 1 plus 10? 11. 11 minus 3. Now, what's that? 8. And over here, since we borrowed a 10, it's not 20 or 2 tens anymore. It's 1 10 or just 10. So 1 minus 1 equals to 0. And then 3 minus nothing is just 3. Which means that 321 minus 13 equals to 308. Now we move on to the next question. 549 minus 211. Okay. 9 minus 1. Does that work? Yes. So do we need to regroup? No. 9 minus 1 equals to 8. 4 minus 1 equals to 3. 5 minus 2 equals to 3 again. Which means that 549 minus 211 is equal to 338. Woo! We move on. Oh, that's just 1 digit. All right then. Now you can do vertical form if you want. But honestly, it's just 1 digit, and if you can't figure out what 9 minus 5 is by this point, I don't know how you could do that, but yeah. So what's 9 minus 5? 4. And there's nothing over here, so we just drag it down. Well, that was straight 4 words. Get it? 4? Okay. Nobody laughs at my jokes. 623 minus 415. 3 minus 5, well, obviously doesn't really work in this scenario, which means that we borrow, or take and never give back. And since we borrowed 10, or took 10, we have 13 now, because 3 plus 10 equals to 13. Not that difficult to figure out. 13 minus 5 is equal to 8. And we borrowed 1 from 2. Well, 1 10 from 2 tens, which leaves 1 10 left, or in this case just 1. 1 minus 1 equals to 0. 6 minus 4 equals to 2. 623 minus 415 equals to 208. Yay! And we keep going. 460 minus 152 is equal to what? Well, 0 minus 2 doesn't really work. So we borrow 10 from 6. Well, 60. Which leaves us with 10 minus 2. 10 minus 2 equals to 8. And 6 got 1 borrowed from it. So 6 minus 1 equals to 5. And then that'd be 5 minus 5, which equals to 0. And 4 minus 1 equals to 3. Meaning that the answer is 308, or 308, because some people say 0 as O. Now you might see why we don't do vertical form, or just any subtraction or addition, from the left. Because if we do it from the left, we get 4 minus 1 equals to 3, 6 minus 5 equals to 1, 0 minus 2, we can't do anything with that. We do it from the right because, well, we need to regroup. Sometimes. You don't need to regroup for everything, okay? Oh, it's one of these. Nice. I've been looking for one of these. I was about to give you an example if this thing didn't give you an example. 6 and 8. But don't worry, we're not doing 6 minus 8. It's 8 minus 6 this time. Does that work? Yep, we just get 2. We don't need to regroup here, but we have dun 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 0 minus 2, which means that we need to regroup. But oh no, it's not in the ones place. So what do? We grab it from the hundreds place. And since 100 is equal to 10 tens, and 10 is equal to 10 ones, actually that just means everything is equal to 10 of the thing before it. Yeah, it works the same way. We just take off 1 and get 10 over here, so that's 10 minus 2 equals to 8. And since 7 got 1 taken off of it, that's just 7 minus 1 equals to 6. 708, or 708, minus 26 is equal to 682. Woo! Now that we're done that, we're at regrouping hundreds, which honestly we already did back in the question right before this. But we're gonna talk through it anyways, just in case anybody isn't clear about it yet. Okay, base 10 blocks are recommended for this activity. I know that some people would say base 10 blocks are needed for this activity, but no, they aren't, because we don't have base 10 blocks, we have drawings of base 10 blocks. Nothing really ever is, well, needed, unless it's oxygen and food and water, because then you'd starve and to death. Yeah, that's painful, don't do that. Step 1, subtract the ones. 7 minus 4. Yay! Step 2, subtract the tens. 1 minus 3. Oh no! we can't do that. So what do? We regroup 100. And since 100 is equal to 10 tens, that's 5. Yeah, this is 10. 10 tens, well, it works the same way as tens to ones. Now, that'd be 10 plus 1 equals to 11. 11 minus 3 equals to 8. Let me just, yeah, there. Boop. Subtract the hundreds. Well, since 2 got 1 taken off of it, 2 minus 1 equals to 1. 1 minus 1 equals to 0. And we don't really need to put the 0 there, because this is the same as that. Therefore, 217 minus 134 is equal to 83. You do not need to say 083. I'd be concerned if you needed to. Now subtract. Yay! Seven minus 3, we don't need to regroup for 7 minus 3. So that'd be just 4. 2 minus 3, well, we need to regroup for that because 3 is bigger than 2. We we regroup, take and never give back, 100, and that'd be 12 tens. 12 tens minus 3 tens is equal to 9 tens. And since we borrowed, regrouped, took and never gave back, 100 from 800, we get 700. And 700 minus 400 equals to 3. Do you guys really want me to do one with models? Really? Fine. So we have 245. So then we take off the 3's. And by 3's, I mean 3 ones. Yay, that works. And we get 2 ones. But we can't take off 5 tens from 4 tens. We can only take off 4. But what about the extra 10? Well, we borrow the 100 and make it into... How many tens are in 100? 10. And then we take that extra 1 off. And we are left with 9 tens. And 100, which is left, subtract 100 is just 0. That's just 92. The answer is just 92. Now I'm not going to do models anymore. So that's your only chance on getting a model. Now, 597 minus 489. Huh, okay. We don't actually have to regroup hundreds for this. And then 7 minus 9. That doesn't work, obviously, because 9 is bigger than 7. And then we borrow, regroup the 10, and we get 17 minus 9, which is just, well, 8. And since 9 got 1 regrouped away from it, or borrowed, or taken and never given back, we get, well, 8 minus 8, 0. 5 minus 4 equals to 1. 108 is the answer to that question. 762 minus 234. Okay, we're regrouping tens right here. This is supposed to be about regrouping hundreds. But I guess they're just trying to throw us off. Now, 2 minus 4 doesn't work. We regroup. We get 2 plus 10, guys, come on. 12 minus 4 equals to 8. And then 6 got 1 regrouped away from it, meaning that it gets, well, 6 minus 1 equals to 5. And 5 minus 3 equals to 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. 528. Now, we're going to move on. $624 minus 325. Why do I have the feeling that I've said 624 sometime? Okay. 4 minus 5 is, well, we can't do that. So we regroup. That's 14 minus 5 because it's 4 plus 10. 14 minus 5 equals to 9. But, dun dun dun, oh no! Because we regrouped 1 out of the 2, we get 2 minus 1 equals to 1. But 1 minus 2 doesn't work either. So we have to regroup 100. That'd be 11 minus 2 is 9 again. And 6 got 1 regrouped out of it, so that's 5. 5 minus 3 equals to 2. 624 minus 325 equals to 299. Now here, we get 943 minus 144. Oh, it's exactly like that one again. 3 minus 4 doesn't work, so we regroup, and that'd be 13 minus 4 equals to 9. And 4 got 1 regrouped out of it, so that's 3. 3 minus 4 doesn't work, so then we regroup from the 9. And we get 13 minus 4 again, and that's 9. And 9 had 1 regrouped out of it, so that's, well, 8. 8 minus 1 equals to 7. Yay! We're done with that. Remember, guys, oh god, I hate this strategy. Not you guys. Remember, guys, you can take a break anytime you want. Okay, now let me rant about how much I hate guess and check. Like, what is the purpose of guess and check? There is no purpose. Well, unless you have no idea what you are doing, which is kind of bad considering that you're in grade 2. Usually, the questions are pretty straightforward because you're still learning your basic facts. Unlike in maybe grade 12, where the teacher decides to give you some really, really weird question that involves 40 different subjects, and you're confused. And there's a multiple choice. So then you just test each choice by each choice. I've done that because sometimes the questions are just so hard, but you're in grade 2, and usually in grade 2 the questions aren't that hard. So there is no purpose in guessing and checking, especially if you have 2 things that you have to guess. If you have only 1 thing that you need to guess, well, that's not that bad. There's 2, though, in each of these questions. In fact, there might even be like 3. Jessica and Josh won a total of 68 awards for state talent contests. Congratulations. How many awards might each of them have won? Now, here's how guess and check works. I think Jessica won 15 and Josh won 45. Does 45 plus 15 equal to 68? No, it doesn't. It equals to 60. Oh, oops, I guess that isn't a combination. Does 45... I think Jessica won 45, or at least one of them. And the other one won 54. Does that add up to 68? No, it doesn't. It adds up to 99. Now, what about 45 and 23? Oh, they add up to 68. The answer is that one of them won 23 and the other won 45. Yeah, you can see where the problem is. You could guess so many different combinations. In fact, hang on. You learned this in grade 3. I teach you guys combinations in grade 3. Yada, yada, yada. There's 12 different ways 12 different answers you can get for this question. And what if you guess this one last, huh? What if you guess this one last? It's so time consuming. Anyhow, the smarter way to work about this is you add up the ones place for all of them only. And you realize that 3 plus 5 equals to 8. 5 plus 5 does not equal to 8. 3 plus 5 equals to 8. 3 plus 4 does not equal to 8. 5 plus 5 does not equal to 8. 5 plus 4 does not equal to 8. And 5 plus 4 does not equal to 8. So it's either 23 and 45 or 23 and 15. By that point, you can do guess and check. If there's only like 3 options and you have no idea which one is which, you could guess and check. And by no idea, I mean no other logical way to go about it. But if there's 12 different options, or 12 different possible answers, please don't guess and check for the sake of all that is good and peaceful. Or bad and chaotic if you really like that way. What number am I? I am more than 500. I have a 7 in the ones place. The sum of my 3 numbers is 15. It means my 3 digits, but words cannot describe how frustrated I am at the fact that we have to guess and check at this. No, literally. If we guess and check, we're gonna go like, is 447 the answer? Is it more than, oh no, it's not more than 500. Oopsies. And then you keep going. Honestly, you could just logically eliminate. I am more than 500. There's only one that is less than 500, so that's not the answer. I have a 7 in the ones place. Well, these two have 5 in their ones place. That's not the answer. Now we are left with this. The sum of my 3 digits is 15. Well, this is the part where you technically do a little bit of guess and check. Because there's 2 answers, and there's only one quality left to distinguish between these 2 answers. Now let's try. 5 plus 4 plus 7 is equal to 16. That's not the answer. The only one left is this one. Now you can check your answer by deciding it's more than 500. Yes. Its digits add up to 15. 5 plus 2 equals to 8. 8 plus 7 equals to 15. Yup. I have a 7 in the ones place. Yup. Okay, that's the answer. Don't guess and check when you have too many potential answers. Although 5 isn't exactly the most answers you could get, technically you could guess and check if you don't know how to do it any other way. Because honestly, any other way except for acting it out and drawing a model, because those are even worse and take just as long time and more resources and more space. Don't do guess and check if you have any other option. Let's just leave it there. Ben collects stamps with either of his 2 favorite colors in them. He has 55 different stamps. How many and what color might each of them be? Okay. So over here we have no idea what his 2 favorite colors are. So honestly, We just need to make sure that the answers, well, the stamp answers, are two different colors. Like we can't have red and red. We have to pair one of these reds with something else. Now the thing is, we realize that 25 plus 30 equals to 55, but both of these are red. And we need two colors. And by two colors, they don't usually mean two shades. Like, it's not cherry red and scarlet. No, no. But we realize that there's also 30 over here. So 30 blue and 25 red. That's two different colors and 55 stamps. Well, that worked. Right? Yeah, it did. So here we have Joe's. That is Joe's, right? What? It could be Jose. Mick and Dan helped wash cars on Saturday for their school band. Together, they wash 71 cars. Oh, that's a lot of cars coming to a car wash. How many cars might each of them wash? Okay, here, we're supposed to pick 3 different numbers. And if any of you know how many combinations that is, you would realize why that is a horrible idea to do guess and check. Because fun fact, that's 60 combinations. If you want to guess and check each of those 60 combinations, fine by me, well, it's not fine by me because I'm your teacher right now, but it's going to be painful and all in all, a very bad decision. Now, 71 cars. Well, the ones place has to be 1. Now we realize that 5 plus 7 plus 7, the ones place is 4. 7 plus 7 plus 1, the ones place is, well, okay. Let's just do it this way. 7 plus 7, ones place is 4. Does anything over here, 5, 1, and 9, with 4, does it make 1? No, because, well, 4 plus 9, 3, well, 13, but we're talking about the ones place only. 4 plus 1, 5, 4 plus 5, 9. That doesn't work. So we can't have 2 of these together. 5 plus 7, 12. And since we can't have another 7 in there, where we went over that, 12, and that's the ones place is 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 2 plus 9, well, that works. So right now we have this or this. Now we add them up. Which of this is 71? 25 plus 27. You can get a sheet of paper for this. I'm going to do it in my head. Is 52. 52 plus 19 is 71. Well, we got our answer. Through some method of, technically we did guess a little, but a lot of it was logicked out. It wasn't completely guess and check. Never do completely guess and check unless you have no idea what you are doing. Yeah. Feel free to take a break if you want right here. Or just anywhere. Yeah. So what did we learn last section? Try not to do guess and check. Unless you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, don't do guess and check. There's often way too many combinations. Wait, hang on. That depends on whether or not the order matters. Yeah, there might be less combinations because the order sometimes doesn't matter or sometimes it does. Oh, yeah, but still, there's going to be a lot of combinations, and honestly, you should logic your way out or try to logic your way out as far as you can. And if you have to guess, well, you got to do what you got to do. Now, estimate differences. Estimate. Make a logical guess. Oh yeah. You know how sometimes you say estimate? I know a kid and he would always go like, I made an educated guess. Just to sound smarter and makes the teacher just look at them going like, is this kid just pretending to know what they're talking about, or do they actually know what they're talking about? Yeah. About how many more miles is it from Chicago to Cleveland than from Chicago to Detroit? Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but Chicago, Illinois, okay, I used to pronounce it Illinois because I didn't really see any NOI words in English, and then I learned French, and the French have like noir for black, and it's Noire. So I always thought it was Illinois. Somebody told me it was Illinois. Don't know which one it is. To Cleveland, Ohio, the distance is 315 miles. From Chicago, Illinois to Detroit, the distance is 234 miles. Round to the nearest 10. We could do that, or we could round to the nearest 100. You would find that rounding to the nearest 10 is much more accurate. Round 315 to, well, what's the ones place? 5. What do we do with 5? We round up. 320. Round 234 to, well, 4 is less than 5, so 230. 320 minus 230 equals to, we regroup, and yeah, that's it. 90. The difference in miles is about 90 miles. So if we round to the nearest 100, well, 315 is closer to 300 than 400. And 234 is closer to 200 than 300. Which means that it's, well, it's this. It's just this, which is equal to 100. The difference in miles is about 100. It could, technically, you could say it's either. But usually if you round to the nearest 10, it's closer. Usually. So let's do 2 practice problems before we move on to the next section. Now remember, guys, you can pause anytime you want. Now, if we round to the nearest 10, 7 and 9 are the ones digit, so we both have to round up. And we get, well, this. And that'd be 0 minus 0. 9 minus 8 equals to 1. 6 minus 2 equals to 4, 410. But if we round to the nearest 100, well, we get just 400. Now, what's the exact value, you may be asking? 7 minus 9, we regroup. 17 minus 9, 8. 7 minus 7, 0. It's 408, which is closer to when we round to the nearest 10 than when we round to the nearest 100. Now here, we round 1 and 4 are both under 5, so we round both of them down. And we regroup 380. Over here, we just get 400. But what's the exact value? You guys do know enough about rounding, right? By now, we've taught you how to round. Yeah, if it's 5 or up, or like above, you just round up. If it's under 5, you round down. And 1 minus 4, we regroup. So, well, 6 minus 9 now, since we regrouped. We regroup again. 377, which is closer to when we round to the nearest 10 than when we round to the nearest 100. Yeah, usually you want to round to a smaller value because the discrepancy would be smaller, or the difference. And now we move on to subtracting money, because this is what most people actually do in life. Jim has $5. He buys the toy dog. And that's $2.35. How much money does Jim have left? Now when we subtract money, it's like adding money. You just do it the same way, but you line up the dot, decimal point. Now 0. That doesn't work because 0 is smaller than 5. Can we borrow from the tens? No. So we regroup all the way from the hundreds. And we do a double. I.e., we regroup from the 100 and we get 10 tens. And because we have 10 tens and 0 ones, we borrow 1 10 and we get 9 tens over here. So 10 minus 5 equals to 5. And since we regrouped, double regrouped, this is 9 minus 3 equals to 6. Point, because decimal points need to line up. And we regrouped over here, so 4 minus 2 equals to 2. He has $2.65 left. He could buy anything except a pig. Why is a pig so expensive? Probably because it's big. Wait, no, dogs can be really big too. Like, have you seen Tibetan Mastiffs? They're massive. Not mastiff. Get it? Get the joke? Anyhow, Pei has $5. She buys a pig. How much money does she have left? $5. Oh yeah, in vertical form, I know that they draw the dollar sign here, but you honestly don't really need to. Now we're just gonna go up, check how much the pig is. $3.31. Okay. Seems legit. And in modern days, you can't even buy a shirt with $5 unless you go to some stores, sure. Heck, the dollar store. You can buy $4 things at the dollar store now. Cries of despair for broke people. Despair is also a very heavy form of sadness. Anyways, double regrouping. 10 minus 1 equals to 9. 9 minus 3 equals to 6. 4 minus 3 equals to 1. She has $1.69 left. Remember to include the dollar sign in your conclusion or in your last statement. That sounds like a bill. Sammy has $4. He buys the duck. How much money does he have left? Well, first, let's do that. Second, let's check how much the duck is worth. And it's $1.72. Double regrouping. 10 minus 2. 8. Obviously. Because by this point, you should know that 10 minus 2 equals to 8. And 10 minus 1, 9. 9 minus 7, 2. Decimal. 4 minus 1, 3. 3 minus 1, 2. He has $2.28 left. Pam also has $4. Okay. She buys a dog. How much money does she have left? How much was the dog again? I don't remember. Weird. Okay. The dog was $2.35. It is recommended that if you draw the dollar sign in the first one, you should probably also draw the dollar sign in the second one. Probably. Some teachers are very, very strict on this. Now, double regrouping. 10 minus 5, 5. 9 minus 3, 6. And 3 minus 2, 1. She has $1.65 left. Yay! Let's do these questions and be done with the section. For minus 0 equals to 4. 7 minus 7 equals to 0. 4 minus 2 equals to 2. Yeah, oh, yeah, you should probably not write over the decimal. 9 minus 6 equals to 3. 9 minus 3 equals to 6. 6 minus 1 equals to 5. It's just like normal subtraction. 5 minus 0 equals to 5. 2 minus 6 equals to, well, that doesn't really work, so we regroup, and we get 12 minus 6 equals to 6. And then 5, because we regrouped something out of it, it's, well, 4. 4 minus 3 equals to 1. Woo! We're done. That section. And now we move on to section number 7. Problem-solving strategies. Choose a strategy. So over here, we can either use a pattern, write a number sentence, or just, okay, a number sentence is something like this. Yeah, numbers, and symbols. Yay. And logical reasoning. These are personally some of my favorite problem-solving strategies. There are 600, 5 tens, and 4 ones blocks. Okay? So 600s, 5 tens, and 4 one blocks. Thomas needs 300, 2 tens, and 4 ones blocks. How many blocks are left? So out of this, we have 3 blocks left. The reason why I'm not doing vertical form is because, well, you'll see later. And out of this, we have 0. So 3 plus 0 equals to 6 blocks. And if I use vertical form, I'd get the answer 330. And last time I checked, 330 blocks is very different from 6 blocks. You get me now? Tracy has 100 marbles. She gives away 1 on Monday. She gives away 2 marbles on Tuesday. She gives away 3 on Wednesday. If she continues to give away marbles at this rate, how many marbles will she have left after 1 week? Well, the pattern is 1 on first day, 2 on second day, 3 on third day, and then 4 on fourth day, blah, blah. There's 7 days in a week. Oh, yeah. Hey, at least she's giving them away. She didn't lose her marbles. Huh? I'll stop. 1 plus 2 equals to 3. 3 plus 3 equals to 6. 6 plus 4 equals to 10. 10 plus 5 equals to 15. 15 plus 6 equals to 21. 21 plus 7 equals to 28. So she would end up giving away 28 marbles. But the question is, how many marbles will she have left? Assuming that she continues to have, i.e. she didn't lose any of the marbles that she didn't give away, it's 100 minus 28. Oh, look. Double regrouping. So 10 minus 8, 2. 9 minus 2 equals to 7. And there's nothing over here because 1 minus 1 equals to 0. She will have 72 marbles left after a week. Mr. Patel has 237 animals at his pet store. Oh, okay. There are 168 birds, gerbils, and hamsters. The rest of the animals are fish. Alright, then that's a lot of fish. But considering that fish have a lot of babies at once, yeah, that's not a lot of fish. Rounding to the nearest tens, estimate how many fish Mr. Patel has in his store. Okay, so we estimate to the nearest 10. 237. We look at the ones place. 7. Is 7 bigger than or equal to 5? It's bigger than 5. So we round up. And we get 240. Now, the rest of the animals are fish, so we subtract the number of animals that aren't fish, i.e. birds, gerbils, and hamsters. 168. 8 is also bigger than 5. So we still round up. That's 170. And we get 0 minus 0 equals to, well, nothing. And regroup because 4 minus 7 isn't exactly possible. And 14 minus 7 equals to 7. 2 minus 1 equals to 1 minus 1 equals to 0. So Mr. Pato has approximately is around 70 fish in his store. But how many fish are actually there? Well, 237 minus 168. 17 minus 8, because we regrouped. 9, and we have to regroup again, because 2 minus 6 obviously doesn't work. That'd be 12 minus 6 equals to 6 again, now. And 2 minus 1 equals to 0. He actually has 69 fish. That's really close to 70. We're one off, which honestly isn't that bad. Tyrone has $4 to pay for lunch. If his lunch costs $2.87, how much money will Tyrone have left? Wow. I remember the cost of our high school cafeteria, and it was higher than this. Let's just leave it there. Double regroup. 10 minus 7 equals to 3. 9 minus 8 equals to 1. And since we, well, took some off of 4, well, what did we take off? 1. So that'd be 4 minus 1 minus 2 equals to 1. Tyrone will have $1 and, okay, yeah, let's make that not look like a 7. 13 cents left. And we've reached the end of the chapter. Give yourself a pat on the back. And I won't actually be seeing you next time. Because guess what, guys? This is the last chapter of the class. But the class isn't over yet. Because, well, you have final exams. I know, right? You have final exams. And guess what? If you don't pass the final exam, you fail the class. No pressure. So take the time from now until the final exam to review. Review everything. Like everything. Your homework, your tests, your report card, everything. Now I know that I said that if you fail the test, well, the final exam, you don't get to, well, continue. Technically that's true. But your mark also still depends on what you do in class and for homework. So yeah, don't forget to do your practice problems. Make sure you review. And the date for the final exam will be posted on our website. And that's it. Good luck on your final exam, and don't fail.